is the men's start list. Tim Hellwig is on debut. Look out for him. He is the mixed team relay gold medalist with Team Germany for Stars and Stripes Racing. Kenji Nina, Matt Hauser, Dorian Connick's the 2023 world champion, and John Reed for podium racing. Chris McCormack boasts Vincent Lewis, two-time champion. Hayden Wilde, the Olympic silver medalist. Max Stapley and debutant Vetla Thorne, and non-Stanford. Well, that team, Brownlee Racing, headlined by the Olympic gold medalist Alex Yee. On your mark! Straight into the water, and it's quite a long run as they attack the water and then dolphin dive their way out in this first 300-metre swim, and it just looks absolutely horrible, and I'm glad I'm in the commentary box.
It'll be interesting to see how Alex Yee fares here after that magnificent finish he had in Paris to take over Hayden Wilde in the dying moments of the race. But what's he going to have in the swim here? I've got a feeling he's tucked in there. I can see 3 blue tri-suits. They're all packed together. I don't think there's really any big gaps forming in the swim, so I'll expect to see the athletes coming out of the water close together. But it is all down to the transition and that first kilometre on the bike. That's where we'll see the breaks coming.
Hauser and Stapley both head-to-head, and now it's quite a long, shallow run out, and they're both tall athletes, which helps them out. So Stapley, he wants this, but Hauser wants it more, and it reminds me of that run up the beach in Malibu last year with Taylor Reid and Matt Hauser going hip and shoulder, and it's Hauser for podium racing who'll be the first into transition. Hauser, Stapley, Bentley's there, Tim Hellwig's there, Sergio Baxter, Vincent Lewis, Alex Yee, Seth Ryder, Dorian Connick and Chase McQueen, the top 10. Wilde there with the Red Bull helmet on in about 4th wheel. Ryder on the front at the moment, who was selected for his mixed team relay prowess, so very good over these short distances, Seth Ryder. And they're going to head into transition and get out on the run for the first time. There is the man they call the Falcon, Hayden Wilde.
And Milner there, 9 seconds down, so that is the whole field as Seth Ryder, the Stars and Stripes, goes out first.
And now you've got your top 2 gold and silver Olympic medalists at the front of this race. Yet another chapter in this long rivalry already between these 2 young men from Great Britain and New Zealand, from Brownlee Racing and Crown Racing. And then behind them, the old warhorse, Vincent Lewis at 35 years of age. Could be a race-defining moment coming up in just a second, because if you look at the bottom of your screen, a short shoot's gone to podium racing, a short shoot's gone to Stars and Stripes Racing. And at the front, we have the other 2 teams. Whoever crosses the dismount line first will pick up the other short shoot. And having that in the back pocket, or not, as the case may be, for one of these 2 teams at the front, red and blue, Crown and Brownlee, will be very important, and Alex Yee knows that.
Nice run from Sergio Baxter, the young Spanish athlete as well, staying in contention there just on the back of this lead group. Alex Yee, though, coming into transition first, just looking like he's loving racing at the moment.
So at the front, though, Vincent Lewis. It's back to the future for Vincent Lewis. He was invincible 2018, 2019. Now he's at the front. It looks like Lewis, Hauser, Wilde, had a good swim. And off the back, Chase McQueen, who's one of our renowned swimmers. No, it's not Dorian Connick, sorry.
Yeah, called that
Hauser in 4th. And Connick's the 2023 world champ. There they are, the 2 Frenchmen at the front, and the Kiwi, Hayden Wilde. And just as it was at the front of the race in the women's, it's 2 Crown Racing athletes and a podium racing athlete. And we would expect Lewis to try and push the pace here. This is where things start to get really tough for the back markers, and the gaps start to really split out.
Tim Hellwig has worked equally hard to get himself back into this, and it's a great start for Tim Hellwig, who makes his debut here in Boston, racing in the Super Tri Series.
Yeah, echoing the words of Parker Spencer, he is, of course, an Olympic gold medalist in the relay, Hellwig, and he doesn't look out of place at all.
Well, look at Wilde. Wilde's not happy there. There's a bit of a battle going on there. And I tell you what,
Smiles
they look,
there too.
I don't know if they're really laughing, though. I think Wilde was a bit annoyed that Dorian Connix didn't really want to do any work. So I'm not sure if that's an honest smile and laughter there. I think a little bit sarcastic there as Wilde says, no way, and gets down on the top of the bars there, starts pushing the power on the pedals again.
At the front, it's Hayden Wilde, but here comes Alex Yee, who didn't do any of the work on that bike and conserved. And Hayden has Alex Yee in both his rearview mirrors and just thinking, what's Alex doing? What am I going to do? How am I going to make it work this time? I've been denied so many times before. And just like he did in Paris, he's tried to go off the front here.
Alex Yee's got a short shoot, so that's good news for the Olympic champion.
That's heartbreaking for Hayden Wilde, Vincent Lewis, and Sergio Baxter, who are those three that don't have it. So 3 athletes at the front here will have the short shoot, and you'd be hard pressed. And that little side eye from Hayden Wilde as he goes past Alex and goes, I'm not going away, not this time.
Non, you've given the short shoot to Alex Yee as if he needs any more help. Is this game over? Is it all done now?
It's definitely not game over in supertri. We saw that Alex was a little bit vulnerable in the last swim, so hopefully he can keep himself in contention. But at the end of the day, he's still got Hayden Wilde, Vincent Louis, Dorian Connix, all up there at the front. So just trying to give him every possible chance because we want to have a win today. So just, yeah, fingers crossed he doesn't need it, but a bit of reassurance.
And a big gap between Tim Hellwig and Matt Hauser now has gone out to 16 seconds. So it's a race in 6 as we head into the finals. Swim, bike and run. And 3 of those athletes of the 6 have a short shoot up their sleeves, which could save them 2 or 3 seconds on the run. But mentally, it gives them a bigger boost than that. And there is a bit of a gap there, back to Alex Yee, and we're just hearing that Dorian Connix has a 5-second penalty as well. So he has a short shoot, but he also has a 5-second penalty, so that's going to hurt him when he sees that.
Oh, that's annoying, isn't it?
Really annoying, yeah, for the 2023 world champion. And the penalty was for goggles, not in the box.
Tim Hellwig glancing over his shoulder. I think all these athletes now, it's just going to be looking around, isn't it, for the next 2.5 kilometres or so, 3 kilometres, and having a little glance. The only person I would imagine might have a little bit of a dig, 2 people, Wilde and Lewis, get a huge advantage in distance.
I think that stage 1, who came across and picked up the run short shoot could be absolutely key here now. If Hayden Wilde had a short shoot and had denied Alex Yee, you'd almost pick Wilde for the win. But Yee with a short shoot, well, hard to bet against.
Athletes now just on the end of the bike leg, and this is going to be a fascinating mile run. This is going to be all out, and I think you're absolutely right, hard to back against Yee and Hellwig with the short shoot, but Wilde is going to fight to the bitter end for sure.
So Yee, look at that, he's had trouble, his bike's fallen down, and he'll start way at the back, so he has lost a good 5 to 7 seconds off the back of that, and Dorian Connix, meanwhile, is off at the front. Hayden Wilde looks around and goes, what has happened to Alex Yee? It's going to be a real test of the Olympic gold medalist run prowess if he can run back that gap. There he is in 6th position. Connix at the front. Wilde, Hellwig, Lewis, Baxter, and then Alex Yee. Short shoot taken by Connix. Wilde doesn't have one. Hellwig does. Lewis and Baxter don't. Yee does. And he moves himself into 5th position.
Dorian Connix is going off hard. I take it that's a deliberate instruction with this penalty to go. Can he serve the penalty and still stay in this?
Absolutely, you've got to believe in it. He swims without his goggles in the second swim. When he took his hat out, his goggles fell out. He carried on running. Small margins, but we gave him the short shoot, and as you see, he's running out of his skin. So you've got to believe, but I mean, Olympic gold and brought a silver medalist to chasing him down. So it'll be close, it'll be close.
There's the penalty as he stands for 5 seconds, longest 5 seconds of his life, Dorian Connix, and then he heads back out, moves from 1st to 6th. And to fifth as he comes out ahead of Baxter, and it's Hayden Wilde who leads now, and Alex G has run his way back up to second. And just as it was at the back end of the Olympics, it is again here as Crown Racing's Hayden Wilde looks to hold off a fast finishing Alex G. Gold and silver in the Olympics. Tim Hellwig, Olympic gold medalist, he's in third position. This is the race we all hope we get, and Alex G has found another gear to go past Hayden Wilde again. How does he continue to do this? That is the question. Wilde looks to go with him. Does Hayden Wilde have an answer that he didn't have in Paris? That is the big question. It's Brownlee Racing up against Crown Racing. Team GB versus New Zealand, and these two in the latest chapter in a battle that's been going for years now.
I feel, Will, that he just doesn't know how to lose any longer. But Wilde, no, isn't going to let him have it all his own way. And he's come out in front of you as they round this tight bend. This is a tight, technical section on the course, which really does hurt the legs of the athletes. You're not letting him go, though.
Hayden Wilde has hit back. There's got to be about 600 metres to go. You can see the pain on Hayden Wilde's face. Alex G, they're both running sub 3 minute kilometres easily. Has Alex G got it back? He hits the front again now. Has Wilde got something to give back? I don't think he does. The kick comes again, just as it did in Paris. It's going to happen again on the black carpet here in Boston. Does Hayden Wilde have something to give back? He looks behind. Alex G's not going to be comfortable, but he is going to be the winner. And he claims it again. And Hayden Wilde does not like that.
He did not like that. Why not?
Like
You're the Olympic champion.
Oh, another chapter in the rivalry. Couldn't have scripted it better here in Boston. Let's have a look at the men's league standings after that first race, and it was 1.1 second and not much else between Alex Yee and Hayden Wilde, and Wilde will look to hit back in Chicago in a week's time. Dorian Connick served that penalty but still finished on the podium from the debutant Tim Hellwig, and Vincent Lewis rounds out the top 5. Good efforts from Sergio Baxter, John Reid, Hugo Milner as well to finish in the top 10.
Probably had a smooth run for everything apart from the last one, but you know, we want supertri to be exciting, and hopefully, you know, everyone was excited watching us race, so yeah, it was good, and yeah, hope we put on the show for you.